Good evening, folks. Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. It's the week in review. I'm alive. No, I was not kidnapped. What's wrong with you guys? Unreal. Good evening, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez. Today is October 15th, 2022. Saturday. Quick pop-up episode. I want to remind folks tonight I will be on with Anthony DiMaggio. So tune in at 9 o'clock. Good evening, folks. Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. I hope everyone's doing well today, Saturday. I apologize about yesterday. I know I was saying I was going to go on with Anthony DiMaggio for part 8 of his interview. And, we had to reschedule, but we will be on tonight at 9. So make sure you tune in. And I apologize. It's funny because then, I started hearing different things of why we didn't come on. And, I was just tired. I was exhausted. I had a long day Friday. Friday was rough. And I got home so exhausted. I didn't even want to stop to eat because I was so tired. And I went to rest before the podcast. Then I'm starving. My wife brought me some penne. I was hoping to come on. And then the penne, just did it for me. Like, I don't know if you guys ever deal with the itis. I don't know if you ever heard of that. When you eat and it just puts you out. It's like that's what happens to me sometimes, and I just couldn't do it. I apologize. I do a lot. I actually have my other jobs and stuff. And then, I try to come on here and this sometimes, depending on what I'm discussing, it could take, 3-4 hours out of my day, few hours just before to write stuff. And then even an hour. So after, I like to do the sharing and the tags and all that good stuff. So, it's very definitely time consuming. And I do this just to bring some information to the people. Again, I don't make a dollar out of it. I'm not looking for anyone to pay me or anything like that. I'm doing it out of my love for the community and the people in the community. So, excuse me. I want to talk about Native Sage in a little bit. I'll bring that back up someone. And I appreciate people sending me stuff and say, hey, can you talk about this? I think this is something you should talk about. And I appreciate that. Thank you. And I also want to show this, because, people do appreciate the Anthony DiMaggio podcast. It says, I think a lot of people, someone sent this to me last night. I didn't respond to the next day. I was knocked out by this time. But it says, I think a lot of people waiting for that podcast tonight. This was after 9 o'clock, right? And I apologize again. So then I didn't respond till 9:30 in the morning. I said, good morning. I go, why did you say that? It goes, a few people told me that it's their Friday night routine. I look forward to it as well. So, shout out to you guys. Thank you for supporting and watching. That interview series with Anthony DiMaggio. Again, we'll be on tonight. And, I just want to say, because some people don't think that. Some people think that, no one really cares. But apparently people do. They look forward to it. And then you have the Yonkers News Wire, which we'll get into. I don't want to talk too much about this, really. And folks, it's not that I want to give this guy Brian Harrod any time, but it's just, I think it's funny. And you have to counter it because now that, people know who we are, then he does this stuff. People may have a misconception, right? And he's talking about, this should be upsetting to people who may have, mental health, issue, may suffer from that, may have family members who may suffer from mental health or maybe, suffering from, emotional, health issues. Because he talks about Mike Cater and his useful idiot continue to exploit an emotionally disturbed person in exposing the hidden mafia in the YPD in the city of Yonkers. He's talking about Anthony DiMaggio. And so we'll get into that. I don't want to talk too much about it. But so just, this is the stuff. No, they do like it, Brian. And what's his face? Ruros, because Ruros, they're partners, right? And so I want to check this out. This is the review, weekend review. I don't know if anyone's seen this. And, and in case you don't watch the city council meetings, it's very important. Very important. So they recently appointed a couple people to the zoning board as well as the planning board. And so here, number 8 on the agenda, resolution, advice and consent to the appointment of Alfred C. Vasso Jr. to the Zoning Board of Appeals. That was adopted 7-0. I'm not sure who he is. I'm going to look the guy up. I just noticed that today. And I'm wondering, who did he replace? Does anyone know? If you know who he replaced, please just comment it right there. I'm curious. I'm wondering if it's Hector Lopez. I haven't looked into it, but that's my guess. So I'm going to guess and see if I'm correct. And then agenda number 9 on the agenda was a resolution, advice and consent to the appointment of Yesenia D. Tovar to the planning board. Anyone familiar with Yesenia? She is the daughter of someone, a well-known Hispanic Latino businessman here in the community. I'm not sure if I'm getting her mixed up with somebody that ran, or maybe not, but she definitely is, from a family that's doing well-to-do family and stuff. And so now I started to think, I'm wondering, is this the beginning of a political career for Miss Tovar, right? They first introduced her, kind of like what they did with the city council president when they put her into the board of trustees. And then she was there for a little bit before becoming the city council president. And because she's a Latina, and we're the hot ticket right now, you know what I mean, Latinos, you know what I mean, we're the flavor of the season, of the month. And so I hear a lot of this, Latino possibly running for mayor. I know the Republican Party interested. I hear also, if Mayor Spano were not to run, because there were a lot of opposition to it, that they have a backup, and it's a Latino, believe it or not. It's not John Rubo, like some people may think. So I'm wondering if that's what's going to happen. I want to know what experience, listen, no hate to nobody, because that's the first thing people want to say, but that's a lame, response. It's not about that. It's genuinely about the experience and the knowledge that individuals who are appointed to these boards have. Right. And I mean, I think she's a young girl, right? The 21-year-old that they appointed to the Zoning Board of Appeals, not to mention that his dad is an investor here in the city, not to mention that he also works in the mayor's office as an aide, making $20,000 a year, not to mention he's also a real estate agent, right? So, I mean, what's really going on there, right? So this is just something I just wanted to point out. People, the city, taxpayers, voters should know about this. And are they making the right appointments? And that was also adopted 7-0. No surprise there. Community advocate. Okay, yeah, she's a community advocate. And what experience and knowledge does she bring to the planning board? And I'm not just trying to pick on her, because this is just a common thing. This is why I'm saying this, right? How is, we have to have people that have the, ability to, do the best job for the people of this city, right? And so they have to have some experience, knowledge, some understanding of it in order to make the right decisions when voting, right? And not easily be manipulated. Or is that the goal? Or is that the plan, right? They want to manipulate people, right? So I just want to make sure that I put that out there, and again, there's no disrespect or anything to the individual. It's not that at all. It's definitely not that. If you can't see the bigger picture, then you just don't want to. I think that's in my opinion. This is a comment that was left on a Nader Sage post. It's to Ken Whitney, Julius Rodriguez. I think I know Ken Whitney. Really, dude? Take a look at this. He also led co-sponsor of Bill A 840, which allows students to pick the locker room or restroom of their choice. Biological males can shower with your daughters. And this Nader Sage Assembly Bill. And, if you take out that one, it's 3 6s. Bill A 6616 that forces all New York State schools to teach comprehensive education for K through 12, specifically K to 3rd grade, right? The bill uses the National Standards of Sex Education, 2nd edition, as a blueprint for school districts that aims to teach far more safe sex practices, the dangers of sexual assault, and STD prevention. The National Standards of Sex Education, 2nd edition, was created by 3 left-wing organizations such as the Future of Sex Education Initiatives, Advocates for Youth, for Youth and CSIS, Sex Education for Social Change, one of which states on their website, reproductive and sexual health and rights are inextricably tied to social justice and the fight for liberation. Their goal is to teach gender ideology, diversity of sex characteristics, masturbation, watching pornography, as well as much more with minimal. I can't. I don't know. Sorry, somebody. This is how it was sent to me. I don't know what it says. But anyway, the thing is that Nader Sage is in support of the bill that will introduce, this sexual education stuff to kindergarten kids, first graders, second graders, third graders. It doesn't matter what the parents want. And it's just slowly continuing, right? If you don't see it now, and you may not say, oh, I don't know what's wrong. You have to understand that this is just the beginning of our parental rights being taken away from us. Remember when some states passed a law that allowed 12-year-olds to make medical decisions for themselves? And they still have that, actually, right? So if they wanted to get the COVID shot at 12 years old and their parents try to stop them, the parent could get in trouble. This is a 12-year-old kid to make this decision on his own, right? Well, at least let them read the Pfizer reports that were released secretly, hush, hush, that tell you just how bad these vaccines are. That's crazy. Unbelievable. That's right, Sheila Mack. It is unbelievable that they're slowly taking away our parental rights. And it's sad that people support this. Folks, that's not okay. Where are we going to, go from there? So I wanted to put that out there, really quick. So anyway, folks, thank you for everyone who's sending me, information, telling me to look into this or look into that. I do appreciate it. There was something else in regards to the teachers. I have to look into it. When I go back to my Instagram, I forgot. And about, what do you guys think about this? Nader Sage, who's running for re-election, as I mentioned, up against Mike Breen, the Republican. They have a networking breakfast and a debate. I believe it's free for members. I can't see, maybe $20 for guests and $25 for non-members. But I hear that they're going to have it on Facebook Live, according to Ron Mattin. But if you wanted to see it live, you would have to pay. That's crazy. So raise money to see these guys debate when it should be free, because as they like to say, many of our residents here in the city of Yonkers are food insecure or have food insecurities. Obviously, that means that they are facing financial hardships, but that doesn't mean that they can't vote. And that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be informed, right, on who they're going to vote for. But you're charging them. Sure, they could watch it on Facebook Live, but will they be able to ask questions, raise their hands? Maybe they can comment, maybe something like that will. But I think this is sad. I think this is horrible to do. That should be free. Should be completely free. That's crazy. All the blue states pushing this, remove parental rights and consent. Yeah, they are. And I'm a Democrat, and I think a lot of Democrats are starting to feel this way. They don't like what a lot of the Democratic Party is doing. They just don't. They're starting to see this, right? Even here in Yonkers, our Democratic Party, they're supposed to be for the people, right? Why didn't they assure that we had affordable housing ordinance here in the city before these developments went up? That would have been the best thing to do. Assure that there's double the number of affordable units in these developments to increase the housing stock, the number of affordable units that are available to the people that are in need of it. And they didn't do that. So now people are being forced to live in these horrible, unsafe, unhealthy conditions, in illegal apartments. People are getting evicted, right? Or they're just having to move because they can't afford the rent increase that are happening now. And so they're not signing new leases. And it's happening everywhere in Yonkers, specifically in some of the lower income communities here in the city. So, this is horrible. And they're Democrats. So why are they not helping the people? They're supporting the luxury developers all day long. These are Democrats, the wealthy developers. They're assuring that they get their developments up, that they making their money. But they're not making them give jobs. They're not assuring that. They're not assuring that they do things for the people, the average people here in the city of Yonkers. They're not assuring that they do things for us, like improve our schools, pay for some of that, pay for some fixing of the roads, because it's your fault while they're getting jacked up by Con Ed. Con Ed is digging up the roads and breaking them up in order to, install or connect the gas lines and all that for these new developments going up. But when they finish, they don't put these roads back, smooth. They make them worse than they were before, because it's not like they were the best condition before, but they make them a lot worse. It's like I feel like I'm in a car with hydraulics when I'm driving down Sawmill over there by the carpet mills, right? So they're not focusing on what the people need. There's simply always developments. You see them with the shovels and all that. But these are Democrats. So I'm confused here. I'm confused by that. I'm totally confused. Facts. That's right, Thomas. Facts. You see it too, right? You see it. I've been leaning right more and more locally. Yeah. And I think that too. And I'm like, I don't want to say that I'm a Republican, but what are you guys doing over there at the Democratic Party? And there is so much corruption involved in our Democratic Party here in the city of Yonkers. It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. It's happening here in Yonkers. Our Democratic Party's corrupt. That's the reason why they didn't pass, the housing ordinance when they should have. Because they're corrupt. They're sponsored, paid for, bought by the developers. They're the ones that attend all their fundraisers and stuff. How many of you guys have attended a Tasha Diaz fundraiser? How many people who actually live in District 3 have actually attended a Tasha Diaz fundraiser? Has anyone attended a Shanae Williams fundraiser? Not someone who's her friend or works for her, but lives in District 1, doesn't know her, and has attended any of their fundraisers. If you go, it's full of developers, businessmen looking to get contracts. That's it. Other politicians, their aides, and brown nosers, right? And hanger-oners. That's what you see. So they're not for the people. That's a fact. I'm sorry. The Democrats asked Cuomo to step down before there was an investigation. The current attorney general wanted his seat. Republicans at least stick up for each other through thick and thin. Democrats jump ship. I don't want to say that in terms of the Republicans, because they haven't been sticking up together when it comes to Trump, right? They've kind of been, a lot of them kind of backpedaled. They're more concerned with their career, their political careers. So, a lot of them kind of, half-stepping when it comes to their support and being true Republicans. And so I've been wondering, if slowly the Republican Party is starting to become corrupt also and infiltrated, right? The same way our Democratic Party has, I believe, 1,000%. When folks, this is the problem, and this is what all of us, if we truly want a fair, and equal and honest democracy, we have to say, you rich people, businesses, and all you special interest groups cannot give these politicians any money. Point blank, period. There should be a set amount of money that they can spend. They should have a set amount of time that they're given on public access television, and that's all each of you get. And now here's your, half hour. Tell us why you should be voted by the people. What have you done? Why should you earn our vote, right? Instead of being about, how much money you can raise, because many times if you just raise a lot of money, you're going to win. And I've heard this before by political insiders, right? If you spend X amount of money, you're guaranteed the election. Well, it shouldn't be that way. But that's how it is. So if you're someone who truly wants to run and make change, and you're genuinely wanting to, help people and fight for the people, if you don't get funding, you're done. You're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. And so that's why our elected officials are more, are loyal to the developers, because they fund them. And what does that mean? They continue their political career. So they continue with all the benefits that comes with, right? I don't want to give that up. Shit, I'm living good, baby. You know what I mean? That's what they say. So that's what the problem is, Statewide, they are corrupt. The attorney general and the district attorney have yet to do anything about public corruption. You're right about that, 1,000%. And I was talking to somebody about this, and I said, you know why they haven't done anything? Because they are corrupt. They're all in cahoots. They're not going to do anything about it. So ultimately, it's up to us, the people, to come out, enforce, voice our opinion, and then vote them out. Right? And if we see something funny with the elections, let's not doubt it. Don't allow the media to make you believe that nothing funny happened. I'm not saying it did or it didn't. What I'm saying is that we need to know for sure. Okay. We're not going to allow the media that's corrupt itself say, oh, yeah, no, nothing's wrong. Those people are crazy. They're crazy conspiracy theorists. Right. Right. Who has the motive really to lie? Is it the crazy conspiracy theorists or the media that makes money with these corrupt individuals? Who has the reason to lie? Think about that. Right. So, and New York State is the number one corrupt state in the country. It has been for a long time. There's actually an ad that I saw on YouTube. It's for Lee Zeldin, and it's trying to paint Kathy Hochul as corrupt, which I may agree with that in my opinion. I don't but it says that under Kathy Hochul, New York was number one in corruption in the country. Well, that's not all the way accurate. New York has been number one in political corruption for a long time, before Kathy Hochul was appointed the governor, because she hasn't been elected, right? They keep chasing after Trump. Can we worry about our own backyard? Yeah, I know that's true, right? Why is our attorney general so concerned with Donald Trump? Right? Like there's all this corruption here. And I shared on my Instagram page a video clip of a news clip or whatever, where they arrested a bunch of people in Jersey for political corruption, mayors and other politicians, along with rabbis and leaders of the community leaders. I mean, they arrested so many people for this corruption that they had to have a Greyhound bus transport the individuals. I mean, everything they were involved in, including human organ, the sale of human organ and stuff like that. One rabbi was doing that for 10 years. Right? It's crazy. So corruption is very real, and New York is the number one state. So we have to come out and vote, because we can't rely on the federal government, the FBI, and these agencies, especially now, to do anything about it. It's up to us now. It is up to us. Well said. Thank you, Thomas. Well said. Money should not equal speech. Money should equal speech, not equal speech. I'm not sure what you mean about that. Yes. So, folks, again, November next year, the election, right? Assemblymen, that's important for us here in Yonkers, right? Because the District 90 is all of Yonkers. They're the ones that are going to fight for us up in Albany to get all this cash to bring back to the schools for Yonkers, right? Because they already got us so much money. According to Nader Sage, he helped bring $250 million to the Yonkers public schools. Kathy Hochul announced for this school year, $360.1, to be exact, $million for Yonkers for UPK programs and after-school programs, as well as daycare, yet they still ran out of money for UPK funding. That doesn't make sense. So this is why it's important that we go vote, because they tell us that they bring this money, but it doesn't appear that we got any money, because then when it comes time to get things, they say we don't have the money for it. But you just finished saying you brung X amount of millions of dollars to Yonkers public schools, but now you're telling me we can't get this because the money right now? Which one is it? Which one is it? Don't worry, Freddie. Feds are back in Yonkers looking at certain individuals tied to the Democratic Party and city administration. Oh, yeah? Is that a fact? I heard that before, but who knows, right? There could just be people talking. I don't know. Maybe. Are they watching my show? I got the feds watching. And by the way, I was up at City Hall on Thursday. I went up there to talk and have a meeting. I went through a secret passage, I was joking about the $1 million. I was not offered $1 million to leave. I was not anything nefarious. I just was talking about, getting things situated with my daycare And people, some folks, one folks stepped up to the plate finally and made it happen. So I appreciate that. Thank you. And so we should be moving forward. But I did sit up there for about 40 minutes, an hour. And I think people were like, "Oh, did the Spanos get to you? Right? Were you bought off by the Spanos?" Which, after I didn't come on the show on Friday, but no, they did not buy me off. They didn't offer me anything, nothing like that. No, nothing nefarious. But I wasn't there talking, and it's cool. It's funny when I go in there because some people are kind of looking at me like, what is he gonna do? It's like I'm not always like doing something crazy. You know what I mean? I'm really normally a normal person, right? So, but shout out to should I say your name, guy? I don't know if I want to say your name. I won't say your name because I don't know. Some people might not like it. He said, he liked the show, right? And he told me to keep getting that Nader Sage. And I don't get at Nader Sage just to get at Nader Sage, okay? If I see something, I will speak on it. Someone said, Fred, you shared a Nader Sage ad, right? I said, yeah, because I will share it. I'm not trying to be unbiased. I share all the ads. I let the people decide ultimately, and that's how it should be. I just want to provide you with the information, the truthful information, right? And being honest with it, right? And not spin or watered down or over exaggerated. Somebody here is now also going at Nader. Nader Sage auditioning to be the sixth member of the squad. Anyone know who the squad is? AOC. Is Bowman part of the squad? I didn't know Bowman was part of the squad. Nader Sage voted with radicals 100% of the time. Another thing that Nader Sage did was he flip-flopped on the vote for the exemption on vaccines, the religious exemption. Initially, he was for it. He was for keeping the exemption, allowing people to have that exemption. He even joined a group who filed a lawsuit in order to keep it. But at the last minute, when it was time to vote, the Speaker of the Assembly called him over, whispered into his ear. After he was done, he went back and he changed his vote, eliminating the exemption for religious reasons when it comes to the vaccine, specifically COVID. So you're losing all your rights here. Doesn't matter. All your rights. Parental rights, religious rights, human rights. Look at how they have some people living. Right? And living in healthy, conditions should be a right. Should be. Nader Sage backed and voted for the horrendous bail reform law. And that's another issue I have with the Democrats, and many Democrats also have with the Democratic Party. Bail reform. Nobody wants to be a victim of someone who was just arrested 10 minutes ago for victimizing someone else. And this is what I always say at the end of the day. And this is why we have to stop being divided by party. All of us, doesn't matter the color of your skin, your gender, or preferred sexual partner, we all want to be safe. We all want to be able to afford a healthy place to live. We want good schools for our kids, right? And we want roads that won't tear up our cars. We want crime to be down. We don't want to get shot when we walk out our house. All of us want that. All of us want that. So we should be, for the most part, on the same page. So why are we so divided? And think about what we're divided over. Things that don't really matter to the majority of us or to our everyday lives. Right? Like this sexual stuff in the schools and stuff. No, that's our right. My child, I want to teach him what I want to teach him. And no one should, have a problem with that. Even if you don't care, you should still respect someone else's parental right. Bottom line. Nader Sage is lead co-sponsor on Assembly Bill 840, which will allow biological males to use women's locker rooms and showers in schools across the state. What do you guys think about that? What if somebody just pretends that he's, I'm a transgender, I think I'm a woman, just so he can go into the girls' locker room? I'm just saying. I think maybe if we want to make these extreme exemptions or, go out of our way for, certain individuals, then they should have individual bathrooms, right? Like they have like the family rooms where it's just one bathroom. If you're a family, you can bring your child in there and change. Then they can go in that bathroom. But to allow, two biologically different, people together like that, and I don't think so. I don't think so. What if they shower together and the dude hasn't, had the sex change yet, and he's got his thing hanging out? I don't know. I'm just saying, right? I mean, I don't know. So, this is crazy, and I don't understand what's going on with the Democrats. And I think a lot of this is to divide us, right? If they put so many different things out there and then we're all just divided, we're never going to get along. We're never going to come together. We're never going to see what's really happening. And they're going to win. They're going to get by. And they're going to continue to be corrupt, So we have to pay attention to what matters. We shouldn't be divided over stuff like this. Again, we all want the same things, do we not? We want affordable housing, great education for our kids, safe, low crime, if crime-free is not possible, communities. We want good jobs that pay a livable wage. That's what all we want. We want roads to be nice so we don't damage our cars. And be able to take a vacation at least once a year, right? Have a barbecue here and there. That's what we all want. Doesn't matter what color you are. Doesn't matter what sex you want to be. Doesn't matter how tall you are, how short you are, right? It doesn't matter how much money you have. That should be the general thing. So that's what we should be focused on. And which one of these individuals that's running is prepared to work on that specifically? And here in Yonkers, two things we need to focus on: affordable housing and improving our educational system. Those are the two top priorities, and none of our elected officials have made it their two top priorities. Not one. At any level of government. Okay, and crime. We have a great police force, Yonkers Police Force. Shout out to you guys. I hear that they found a body the day after they did the groundbreaking ceremony over there on Seymour Street, where they're going to be putting the nursing home. They dug up a body. I don't know how long it was there. That's two bodies that have been found so far in Yonkers in less than, a week? So what's going on here in the city of Yonkers? But again, I know crime is up everywhere. So, but Yonkers police is doing it, the best job they could do. They are doing a great job. But when you have elected officials that work against them with silly things like this bail reform, you're going to see crime go up. Anyway, folks, I'm Freddie Vasquez. I'm up out of here. I just wanted to come on real quick and just let you know I'm alive. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get kidnapped. The Spanos didn't buy me off, right? I'm still waiting for that $1 million offer, though. I'll take that check. So let me know. Call me up. I'm up out of there. But I'm still here. And I also want to be on and remind you that tonight I will be on with Anthony DiMaggio at 9 o'clock. We're definitely going to be on. Nothing's going to stop us. Nothing. So make sure you tune in tonight, folks, for part 8 of the Anthony DiMaggio interview with me, Freddie Vasquez, right here on Basement Politics. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you tonight at 9. I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Who will you vote for? The election is less than a month away. Nader Sage or Mr. Mike Breen? By the way, Nader is coming out swinging. Mike Breen, what are you doing, man? I don't see anything, really. Do you really want to win? I don't know. I hear that the machine is walking, a fine line there. I hear the person they really want to win is Mike Breen. And that's caused a lot of division up at the top. Some interesting things happening here in Yonkers politics that's involving Mr. Nader Sage and Zahi Jerris. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Join me tonight at 9 o'clock. What's going on there? You guys are funny. Don't forget, Anthony DiMaggio, 9 o'clock tonight, a former Yonkers police lieutenant, will be on again. And I hear that, people are concerned about what he's saying. So what is he saying that they're so concerned about? It'd be nice if they gave him his job back. Full benefits, pension, done and everything. That's what they should do, right? I'm Freddie Vasquez. Join me tonight at 9.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
Shout out to Legacy Denim. Go check out Legacy Denim. Get some gear from them. Shout out to you. Legacy Denim. No, it's not a paid sponsorship. I support local businesses. Shout out to Legacy Denim.
Freddie wins. Fatality. Freddie wins.
Go check out Gino's Pizza, some of the best pizza in Yonkers. Oh, and go out and support Catania's Pizza. I hear the Tanglewood Shopping Center was sold 3 years ago. It was valued at $12 million, but they actually paid $15. And so now they're not renewing the businesses' leases. So they want all the businesses there out. Some of them have already been told, we're not renewing your lease, you gotta go, we'll be out soon. Some of them still have their leases in place, but they'll probably look to buy them out. What will they be putting up there at the Tanglewood Shopping Center on Central Avenue, right across from CVS? Yo, you folks on the Northeast and Southeast side, a lot of stuff is gonna happen if you guys don't come out and vote. You're gonna see a lot of crowds, traffic, construction. It's gonna be a mess over there. It's not gonna be quiet anymore. Time for you guys to wake up and join us.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez. You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
In another word, Mr. Rubo lied to me, and I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
Freddie wins.
I was raised in housing. I don't think you were.